Why, hello there. Nerds and nerdvengers from around the world. Welcome to your Friday. It's a Friday show. It's a Friday show. Chet. Initiate the gambling. Initiate the gambling. All right. Well, all right. All right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to your Friday stream. Already here in Nerdvengers Tower. It's been a busy morning because it's been a busy week. A lot of crazy Marvel news, like a lot. And we're going to go over it today. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to save time for call-ins later in the day. We're going to do plenty of Q&A. There's a lot to get into, man. It's pretty wild. Wild stuff happening. Two of the craziest news stories. Like, three, basically. Like, we just had the Hugh Jackman news, which, by the way, big video coming out later today about Deadpool 3, Hugh Jackman Wolverine, what I think that movie's going to be like. It's a really, really fun speculative video, grabbing up some evidence and kind of explaining where I think that movie's going to go. Make sure you check that out. And I'll probably do a video talking about some of the things we're going to talk about today over the weekend and kind of explain more on why I think Feige and Marvel are obviously shifting things and actually improving things and doing it very quickly from what we're seeing in the news. But this week, dude, we have the Hugh Jackman news, okay? We've got Harrison Ford as Red Hulk rumor. That shit's real. It's real insofar as he has absolutely been approached for that role. And that's crazy. We got to get into that. And then, of course, monumental, unbelievable updates to Armor Wars. You know, Armor Wars has been a project that Marvel hasn't really talked much about since its inception. And maybe this is partially why. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this is why it was not really talked about at D23 or at San Diego Comic-Con. The only time it was kind of discussed was at D23. They explained that Secret Invasion was going to directly tie into what happens in Armor Wars. Other than that, we don't know nothing. Now, all of a sudden, it's being changed from a Disney Plus show to a theatrical release movie. I mean, this is just crazy. This has been one of the craziest weeks. And it's also weird, right? Because, you know, we just had D23 and they had all kinds of chances before that, of course, to talk about all these crazy things. And yet here we are. Here we are, Friday at the end of this week. And maybe the least crazy thing that was announced was Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. Like, what a world. What a time to be alive. What a time to be nerd-venging. It's all pretty crazy. So maybe we should start, actually, with an update to the Blade story, okay? Let's start here. And also, I hope you guys are all doing well, man. Hope you had a good week. It's been a crazy week. I know personally for me, man, it's been a good week because, like, the news and, you know, a lot of fun streams, a lot of fun videos, but also, like, a very trying week. Liam's been pretty grumpy this week, and I've been trying to adjust the best that I can to new dad life, and so, you know, doing all these, just trying to make it out here in this world. So, yeah, the struggle bus is real. Okay, All right, let's get into this. Let's talk about this first, okay? Can somebody help me pronounce this dude's name? I got to look it up and figure out how to pronounce this dude's name, okay? I'm just going to refer to him as DeMeo for now, okay? I feel terrible, but I don't know how to pronounce his first name. But he is now going to rewrite the entire script for Blade from scratch. Holy shit. This is wild. Because originally, it was just being said that he was going to come in. Is gambling working, by the way? Are you guys able to gamble? Bo? It's literally just pronounced Bo? Or like Bo. Bo. Damn, dude. Talk about like the easiest name to say. Bo, like I said, Bo DeMeo. Duh. I've been trying to tell you guys it's fucking Bo DeMeo for like all week. You guys, you never got hooked on phonics? You didn't go to school? Yeah. Public education system in America really showing off with how you guys fucking pronounce these things. God. So as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by you dumbasses, Bo DeMeo will now rewrite the entire script of Blade. Crazy. Okay, so who's Bo? Well, he's done a couple of different things. First of all, he was a writer on Moon Knight. He's also one of the writers on X-Men 97. Okay? And I mean, my thoughts on this, I got a couple of different thoughts, okay? Let's start by framing what we have heard about the other script, the original version of Blade, which maybe is gone completely now. Maybe it's totally different now, and that's what I want to talk with you guys about. Like, how are we feeling about this, okay? The original version of this movie was said to take place in the 1920s, moving all the way up into like the 1980s, maybe even modern day. It was supposed to be about maybe older European vampires and how this all is happening together, and Blade himself, who in the comic books, like a lot of us think of the Wesley Snipes Blade. Okay? And we think of this just like badass American dude who, you know, was born in like the modern era and was, his mother was, a vampire, whatever. That's not the comic book version of it. In the comics, Blade is actually an English bloke. Yeah, he's an English bloke from a while back, right? And so it's kind of interesting, like, in this original version that we heard of the film, it was going to take place over a long period of time. There's also some new rumors that it was going to do the lone wolf and cub thing, where it was going to be either a young vampire girl or Blade's daughter was going to be somewhat of a mentor figure in the film that Blade was going to be mentoring. It's crazy. It was, I thought it was cool. It was going to maybe involve Black Knight. That's something else we heard, right? You're going to have Dane Whitman in there as well. Who, by the way, crazy because Dane Whitman could have been also an English bloke from a while back. You know what I mean? I don't know that he actually... It's hard to say, right? Because we don't know how close are they sticking to the comic book origin of Blade, the Ebony Blade, etc. In the Eternals movie, it's like very possible that Dane Whitman is just some dude. And he's never actually touched that sword and embraced that sword before. But if he has been using that sword, it's also possible that he's aging very well. That he's not actually... Like, it's somewhat of a thing that could make him have a much longer life. So it's possible that he's actually around in the 1920s as well. I don't know. But regardless, the deal was, and what we talked about earlier in the week, was that Mahershala Ali not feeling it, dude. He was not feeling that shit. And the original story was that Bo DeMeo was going to come in and just do punch-ups. Just punch up the script. Like, keep that same idea, but punch it up. More action, maybe a little bit more character development stuff. Just punch up the script. And I think the reason that Bo was really considered for this role is probably because, I mean, Moon Knight's a really well-written show. Whether or not you love the show, and I'm like 6 to 7 out of 10 with it. Like, it does some things incredibly well, but it ends kind of unsatisfying for me. You know what I mean? And then like the whole the whole Callum Way thing with her like becoming the Red Scarab at the end of the show. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, there was a lot of stuff at the end of the show that I thought was garbage, but there's a lot of great stuff in Moon Knight, like incredible stuff, and some real comic book shit, dude. Like, especially towards the end, there's some shots like where you see like a massive, the massive gods like fighting in the background, and then like Moon Knight's fighting in the foreground, and like some really cool shit like that. And then Bo's doing X-Men 97. My gut tells me he's a little bit more of a nerd. He's a little bit more of an actual comic book fan, maybe a little bit of a sweaty. And this is why he got the Blade gig, where they were like, okay, we've got this script here. Mahershala doesn't like it. You understand comics. You've obviously been working in the Marvel system. Punch this thing up. It was also rumored that Mahershala did not love what the old director wanted to do with the script. Okay? That's not I don't think that's like really confirmed, but I believe that's coming from Grace Randolph, where she said that Mahershala Ali, like one of the reasons that the director is no longer the director is because his vision for what they wanted to do with the script did not align with what Mahershala Ali wanted at all. And so now you've got this guy coming in. It feels like Mahershala is like a little bit of a power play move here. And like, you know, this dude is probably going to line up with what Mahershala wants and just put all the Marvel trappings on it, put all the fun comic book shit into it. So that's kind of what's going on. I wonder, how are you guys feeling about this? Do you think this is a W? Do you think this is an L? Like, what do you think's going on here? Are you excited about a total rewrite? Do you want some of the old script to still be in there? Do you like the old story? Or are you like, nah, dude, like, just the whole new, all the way new? Looks like a lot of people are saying it's a W. A lot of people are saying it's a dub. He fights vampires with swords and gadgets. It shouldn't be this hard. Interesting take. Half and half. Dub City. A lot of people are saying it's a dub. Yeah, so I don't know, man. So here's my thing. Before we heard about that other version of the story, what did you guys like want from a Blade film? Because to me, I think like, I would like Blade to sort of already be established and to be fighting against the supernatural in a really significant way. And I would personally want Dracula to be involved. By the way, my absolute total fanboy version of this would be to actually make Wesley Snipes Dracula in the Blade movie. I don't think they're going to do that because I think it's possible Wesley will come back in Secret Wars just as Blade, and that's probably more appealing to him. There were also rumors, guys, that what's his face? Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hunt's the fucking Tom Cruise character. No, Ethan, the fucking guy in Moon Knight. Okay? Yeah, I haven't slept well. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. That he was going to be Dracula as well. So I think Dracula's kind of been on the mind of Marvel. And if I'm Mahershala and I'm this dude and I'm like, yo, like, how are we going to hype this shit? Dude, just go Dracula, army of vampires, all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm not saying that character should be Dracula again. He's dead, dude. But, dude, do Dracula. Have it be really significant. Tie it into the fucking Darkhold or some crazy shit like that. I say yes, do a version of Midnight Suns. Like, why wouldn't you just make the Blade movie him recruiting the Midnight Suns? Like, why are you gonna do a Blade movie that's like, oh, cool, fucking Blade's here. Oh, dude, 1920s to 1980s. I can't wait for that Midnight Sun movie. No, fuck that. Just do it. Just go Midnight Suns right away, and they're fighting against Dracula. Done. That's it. And that's what I think. What do you guys think? How would they tie Dracula to the Darkhold? Well, perhaps it's just a thing where Dracula himself has some kind of connection to either hell or to other dimensions of dark energy. Like, I don't know the exact explanation for like vampires in the MCU, right? But Dracula himself, he's not just a vampire. In a lot of versions of fiction, like if you look at what's that sick ass anime that's on Netflix that has Dracula in it, right? So Dracula in that is like a student of the dark arts. You know what I mean? Definitely can do black magic and things like that. Castlevania. Yeah. No, it's not Naruto. Vape God. Dude, calm down with the blinkers, man. Holy shit. But yeah, like some kind of connection like that, like supernatural, evil powers, dark dimension type shit. Who knows exactly? But yeah, something like that I think would be really, really cool. And so, yeah, I'm hopeful that this guy, I mean, I love it when Marvel like recognizes that a person works really well within the system and then just like gets them to do a bunch more stuff. I think it's good, and I think it will lead to a more sort of cohesive MCU moving forward. So that's your update on Blade. Definitely want to know what y'all think about it. Definitely want to know how you're feeling about it. I think it's good. I am all about it. Now, should we talk Harrison Ford? Should we talk a little Harrison Ford first? And first of all, we gotta give some love to Jeff Snyder. And I don't know what is Jeff Snyder even doing at this point? Does he still have stuff behind the paywall for Anchor? Or the Ankler? He's doing this podcast with John Roca? Like, I don't know. Here's my take. I think there needs to be a way to support Jeff Snyder because obviously Hollywood and the Hollywood trades is trying to shit on him real bad. Like the other day, he broke the Blade thing, and then literally Marvel Studios handed it to the trades, and the trades got all the credit for it. So they're just like doing this game with Jeff Snyder where they're like, yo, fuck you, Jeff. And I kind of love it because it feels like he's getting burnt in a way where he's just going to start dropping all this news. So I'd like to show him some support. You know what I mean? Now, this is coming from Jeff, and it's fucking wild. It's absurd. It's so weird. It's awesome, but also controversial. Harrison motherfucking Ford. That's actually his legal name. That's not an expletive. That's his legal name. Harrison motherfucking Ford reportedly is or was Marvel's top choice to star as General Ross in Thunderbolts. He is not currently cast in the film, but it's unclear if he's already passed on the role. Coming from Snyder. Holy shit, dude. I mean, this is crazy. This shows you a couple of different things. Okay, and again, I'm gonna do a video really digging into like Red Hulk and what this all means, the intelligentsia, how this is all being built up, because yeah, World War Hulk, Planet Hulk, fucking so many Hulks, dude. So many Hulks. But it also shows you where the head is at for the studio, where the mind is at for the studio. They are willing to go after huge celebrities. They're going after big guns, dude. They're going after big guns for directors. They're going after big guns for actors. They are trying to juice the MCU up. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's really cool. The other thing that's really interesting about this, of course, is that it shows they definitely understand that Thunderbolts without Thunderbolt Ross feels bad, man. Okay? And we're just talking strictly from the comic books here. It feels bad. How the fuck is that supposed to work? And also, Red Hulk is awesome. The Red Hulk is amazing. Are you kidding me? So, of course, as comic book fans, we want the Red Hulk. For the Thunderbolts movie, having Red Hulk in that bitch, wow. That really does upgrade the film. It's the same Marvel thing that they always do, amping it up, creating more hype. That's why I love it. But of course, there is a dark side. There is a dark side to this piece of news. And it is the fact that Marvel Studios almost immediately went to work on figuring out who should be Red Hulk moving forward, because there was no way they weren't going to have Red Hulk in their Marvel shit. Did the complete opposite for T'Challa and for Chadwick Boseman. Now look, I'm on Twitter, okay? So I see all the toxic, contrarian, asshole, dopamine addicted takes all the time. And I understand that this particular issue is a perfect storm of slimy takes and controversy. I mean, first of all, William Hurt himself, definitely controversial thing that happened there. I believe he sexually assaulted his wife. They reconciled about that, but it happened, and he talked about it publicly. And in today's day and age, a lot of people he's a sexual assaulter, fuck him forever, right? And in fact, it is possible, and this is another thing that's kind of interesting here. It is possible that Marvel Studios was looking to recast that role either way. William Hurt, I think, tragically passed, and I think that when he passed, a lot of people came out to, share their condolences, and there wasn't this like total and complete like shitting on him because of this horrible mistake that he made to his wife, right? But I mean, right now, when I've been bringing up this whole like recast T'Challa thing versus William Hurt, a lot of people are just going for the low hanging fruit. T'Challa or Chadwick Boseman was awesome. William Hurt was the worst thing possible, right? And I know that a lot of people still don't. I don't think a lot of people understand recast T'Challa. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people don't understand it. And it's just this weird thing where I see a ton of people, like, they're just really convinced that the right thing to do is to not recast and to have that character be dead forever. And I feel like a lot of people are convinced that this is like what Chad would have wanted, what his family would have wanted, and what most of the black community would want. And I actually strictly disagree with all three of those points. I think that when it comes to the black community, from what I can see, pretty split. There are definitely a lot of people that think, no, give Chad that status and just boom, move on. But there are a lot of people, including E-Man, and a lot of thought leaders in the black community that think, no, this is absurd. T'Challa is so important to pop culture and one of the best black characters ever made at a time when you really need a character like this. Why are you going to do this? And then there's like ancillary sort of feels bad connections from there, right? Tropes of the past being perpetuated again by Hollywood under the guise of doing the right thing, etc., etc. We don't have to go down that full road, but I just wanted to bring this up because, like, dude, people are so fucking sure of themselves and sure that the right thing to do is this, that, second, or the third. Whatever happened to, like, just listening? Why not just fucking listen to what other people are trying to say? I get so irritated by all these people that come in with they're so sure that they know what it is. They know the right thing to do, etc., etc. To take it a step back, right? I think all Marvel needs to do to try to navigate out of this tricky situation is to imply that you will see T'Challa again, which I actually think they have already done. I think Feige's most recent comments about how it was much too soon, I think that's sort of the first of a shift from Marvel's perspective when it comes to PR that will address this issue, and I do think you will see T'Challa again. Now, will you just see a variant of him and perhaps just see him in Secret Wars or something like that? Sure. And I have mixed feelings about that because on the one hand, Secret Wars is going to be one of the biggest, most relevant pop culture things that happens in the next 20 years. It absolutely will be that thing. Like, in the same way that, like, Infinity War and Endgame, like, we go back, we talk about them, they're huge, they're massive, they're impactful. So, I mean, how many people do you think for the history of time are going to watch those movies? A ton of people. And it's going to be the same with Secret Wars. And it will feel good to have such an important character in T'Challa be active in Secret Wars. And I really do hope and predict that will happen. But for me, I still want to see T'Challa as a Black Panther in the 616. Just figure it out. I don't care. Just figure it out. That's where I stand on it. And so that is sort of a negative aspect, if you will, to this Red Hulk news, which will linger. It absolutely will linger. And again, I think all Marvel needs to do is sort of imply and sort of hint that there will be more T'Challa, right? Now, if we can, setting all of that off to the side, right? Setting all of that off to the side. Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross? Dude, let me tell you this. If he's really down, this could be absolutely incredible, dude. Like, this could be absolutely incredible. I mean, Harrison Ford is so grumpy, get off my lawn. He's so fucking famous. He's also an incredible actor. Like, incredible. Okay? And I'm imagining him with, like, a big mustache. I'm also imagining how awesome it would be to see a Red Hulk version of him, because one of the fun things about Red Hulk is that he has all of his intelligence while he is Hulk, and yet he's still like this just crazy over the top military dude, and it's wild. Okay? So I think it's crazy that they're going after this caliber of a dude for this kind of a role, and if they get it, dude, it's an absolute dub. Like, it's an absolute dub. Like, this is a we are gathered here to celebrate the size of this dub. This is a dub. That's a big old dub, bro. And even if they don't get Harrison Ford, right? There are other actors, like the guy from Avatar, Lang, I think his name is, like the guy who played Thunderbolt Ross in the old Eric Bana, the guy that's the sarsaparilla guy. I can never think of his name. The sarsaparilla guy from The Big Lebowski. You know? Yeah. Sam Elliott. Yes, Sam Elliott. Dude, so there's a lot of good choices. And to be honest with you, I think either way, if we get Red Hulk back, boner, dude, what? Red Hulk? Dude, let's go. Thunderbolt Ross, the Thunderbolts, Red Hulk. Dude, talk about taking that movie to the next level, because you know, when they announced the whole team for the Thunderbolts at D23, a lot of y'all were like, lame. Fucking lame, bro. It's fucking lame. Ah! Ah! Oh my God. That was you. I just did an impression of you. That was many of you. Honestly, I can't really blame you. It's like a high mid team to me, and especially because there's no mention of Zemo. It's kind of a bummer, right? So if you get Zemo and you get Red Hulk in this movie, bro, now we're fucking talking. Now we're cooking with gasoline. Now we're cooking with gasoline, baby. Let's go. So, complicated story. Again, I'm going to do a full video kind of breaking this down, talking about where all of this is headed. It's going to be crazy. And it will probably be She-Hulk's blood that turns him into the Red Hulk and all that. You know what I mean? So, okay. Now, the main topic of today's stream. Buckle up your buttholes. Here we go. Marvel Studios developing Armor Wars as a movie instead of a Disney Plus series. Hold up, let's talk just for a second. Give me your take. What do you think? What was your first reaction? What was your first reaction when you heard this news? What were you thinking? W. Big W. I screamed, yeah, with you. Amen. Huge W. Good. Cool. Cool, says Expo City. Massive. Yeah, excited. Down for that. Pretty done with the Disney Plus shows. Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, this is so crazy. And I'm going to... Dude, guys. I know I'm a Marvel shill, okay? Yes, I'm a simp for Kevin Feige. I'm having a really good time being a Marvel fan, okay? But I was trying to tell y'all, they're going to fix things. They're going to change things. They're course correcting. We're seeing shit happen right in front of our eyes that's addressing damn near every problem we've had with Phase 4. It's happening right in front of our eyes. It's unbelievable. Like, all of us are like, these fucking Disney Plus shows are like whatever, basically. Okay? And so Armor Wars now no longer going to be a Disney Plus show, going to be a Marvel movie. I think this is huge. It also has a lot of implications. Marvel Studios is now developing Armor Wars, a movie leading man Don Cheadle and writer Yasir Lester. Ever since officially announced, fans have eagerly been awaiting news regarding Marvel Studios' Armor Wars. The project was to be made into a Disney Plus series. However, outside of Yasir Lester being announced as the head writer, very little news seemed to surface regarding the project. Lester and leading man Don Cheadle assured fans it was coming, though, and now it appears we might have a reason as to why the project is moving so slowly. The Hollywood Reporter, and again, guys and girls, are you all paying attention? Are you guys actually awake? Are you fucking tabbed out checking eBay? Are you checking the weather this weekend? You're going to go to the dog park, going to have a nice little Saturday, maybe go to Home Depot if you have enough time. Stop what you're doing and lean in. Focus on the stream. Shut up! Wake up! What have we been talking about? We've been talking about a lot lately how the Hollywood trades are a sort of mouthpiece for the studios. How they break news and trickle news to these places is the way they communicate with wider audiences, with people like us. Okay? And so, what are we seeing? We are literally seeing Marvel at a time where, yeah, Phase 4 has been whatever, and a lot of people are down on it. As we just explained it earlier in the week, I think Phase 5 is going to be titties. But you're seeing through the trades sort of an explanation as to how they are changing, how they are addressing a lot of these different issues and problems. So it's coming through the Hollywood Reporter, and they have revealed that Marvel Studios is developing Armor Wars as a feature film instead of a Disney Plus series. Both Lester and Cheadle remain on board with the project. The project is being redeveloped into a feature film, which is more than likely why Armor Wars still lacked a release window during Marvel Studios' Disney Plus D23 presentation. The decision was made as Marvel felt the best way to tell the story was through a feature film rather than a television series. Production on the 6-episode series was expected to begin in early 2023. However, crew members were said to be notified today that is no longer happening. The title of the series was inspired by a storyline in the Iron Man comics from 1987, that's a great year, and 1988 by blah, 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 blah. Okay, it focused on highly advanced technology of Iron Man falling into the wrong hands. Okay. So, a couple of different things going on here, and let's just start with the most crazy, controversial, and exciting aspect to this story, okay? Everybody's thinking it. Oh my God. Guys, I'm trying to be chill. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be chill. But like all these people, man, people are so fucking whiny these days. It's crazy. Everybody that's in this fandom was thinking the exact same thing when this news broke. And what is that? It is that this is likely bolstering the possibility of Robert Downey Jr. being involved in this project in some way, shape, or form. To many of us, we've always thought that Robert Downey Jr. would come back to the MCU because it's fucking comic books, and also because he's the godfather of the Infinity Saga, and it's obvious that having him come back for Secret Wars would be such a feel-good, awesome thing for the fans, and a lot of people would cheer for it, okay? And there were even people that thought he could show up in projects that have already come out. He could show up in Armor Wars, as happened in the comic books, or in Ironheart, as happened in the comic books. But the Armor Wars project, having to deal with Rhodey as sort of the shepherd of how Tony Stark's tech will be used, and you add in the layer now that the Skrull are apparently after something that from Tony Stark's tech. They're trying to infiltrate and get Tony Stark tech for their own means. I think this is such an interesting movie. And the main thing and the main butthurt that I see from people online is that they're like, bro, Rhodey finally gets to be the focus of a story after supporting Tony Stark for X amount of years, and now you're just going to throw Robert Downey Jr. in there? It's disrespectful, it's stupid, and fans suck. You know what I mean? I saw all these people with these takes getting all butthurt because people like me, people like Matt Ramos, people that are in the leaking game, all are thinking the exact same thing, which also Jeff Snyder hinted at as well. We're all thinking it, dude. Everybody's thinking it. It doesn't have to take the story away from Don Cheadle. It can enhance the story of Don Cheadle. It's like people can't understand how the writing could work. That you could have the hype of bringing Robert Downey back while also having it be in a limited capacity as AI and serving the story of living, breathing character James Rhodes. Is that really so hard to imagine? You could have a pseudo relationship between Don Cheadle and the AI version of Tony Stark. You can have Cheadle understand and recognize that it's not actually Tony Stark. And yet you can have that add some oomph to the project. I think it would be huge. I think this also opens up this movie to be really, really big in scale, you know, dealing with things like what happens in Secret Invasion, dealing with the White Vision, which is also a lot of Tony's problem, dealing with even Ultron, lingering Ultron threats. Fuck, man, you could even have other people using Tony Stark's suits, like the Punisher. This happens in the comics, right? It's crazy. Frank Castle gets the War Machine armor. It's absolutely incredible, right? And you can do all of that and have it have a much bigger budget, be more spectacular, and do, I think, the right thing for Don Cheadle. Because, yeah, I do love Don Cheadle and Rhodey in the MCU. He's absolutely incredible. Does he support Tony Stark, especially in those early Tony Stark movies? Yeah, he does. Absolutely. The way that it happened in the comic books. But now I think Rhodey has really evolved into a newer character, and yet I don't know where he is at and what he is doing, and that confuses me. Because I think that Rhodey would be at the forefront of a lot of these different elements that are happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think this movie, especially because it looks so cool what's going on with Secret Invasion and Cheadle being involved in that, I think it would be so fucking cool to get these two together, Tony in a limited capacity here, and obviously he'll get a massive check. They both should, right? Like, this is probably what it was. It was like, well, they both need to get paid and have truckloads of money. We'll make it a theatrical release. I love it. Like, I love this news. I think it addresses the Disney Plus issues. I think it does the right thing for Don Cheadle. I hope that this movie is closely tied to a lot of other things that are happening, like New World Order. Obviously, Secret Invasion is going to be a big part of it. Damage Control has been very active in taking Tony Stark tech. You've got the Intelligentsia. You've got the possibility of Red Hulk. Like, this just feels really good, dude. Like, Armor Wars has just jumped up like 1,000% on my personal hype level. I'm so excited to see what they do. And I think that it's going to be a very, very big deal. I also do think that this could be a nice sort of dip your toe back into the pool for Robert Downey Jr., who I believe is being courted for a return for Secret Wars. Is that so crazy? Is it so horrible and vile to think that that's what could be going on here? Would it not be very hyped up? I'm asking. I'm genuinely asking. What do you think? Would that be too crazy? What do you think? I feel like Secret Invasion could have used damage control and other entities fleshed out a bit more. They use the show as a scroll run. I like that. Hype for Secret Wars. Robert Downey Jr. and Wesley making a return. Amen. That would be dope. Didn't Terrence Howard pass on being Rhodey after one of the movies? Yeah. Damage control are scrolls. Hence Cap Marvel porting at the end of Miss Marvel. Maybe a stretch. No, I don't think... I mean, they could be scrolls. That would be kind of interesting. But no, she warps because I think that's a Nega band that she has. And something to do with her powers activate the Nega band in a weird way. AI Iron Man would make normie fans more mad for killing off Tony. Really? You think so? Bring back Justin Hammer for Armor Wars. I would love it. I think it would be great. Yeah, Terrence Howard wanted more money. That's true. That is true. Yeah, so I see this as an absolute win. I see this as an absolute win. I think it's fantastic. Definitely jumps the hype up for me. And yeah, I definitely think it's setting up the stage for a Robert Downey Jr. return. Which I also think is going to be dope. What the hell is this? That's weird. Some weird set photos from Madam Web just came out. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But yeah, no, it's pretty hyped up. I think it's cool, man. I'm excited. I'm excited! RDJ is whatever? Oh my god, bro. Are you serious? Like, have you not watched the old Marvel movies? Do you have zero appreciation for what he brought to the role? Whew! That's quite a take. That's quite a take. Robert Downey Jr. was worth every penny that they paid him. And I think we'd be missing him big time. Big time, dude. Yeah. Wow, that's such a wild take. Is Ironheart going to be cool? Yeah, I hope so. I want to team up with the first Ultimate Alliance game for Secret Wars. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. Oh, dude. I mean, of course. How could that not be absolutely incredible? How can it not be absolutely incredible? That would be sick. Okay, let's get into the super chats. Let's just chill and see what y'all be saying in these chats, these member chats, etc., etc. Then we'll save time for a little bit of call-ins, and then we'll call it a day. Skylar Hillman with a 5-spot says, what do you think will be the final MCU movie ever, and what will be the climactic moment? Happy Friday. Time to get lit after work. Amen. So here's my thing, man. I actually have a big video about this, and I think that after Secret Wars, you're going to get into the Eternity Saga or the Timeless Saga, and I think they're going to do King Thanos. I think they're going to do Secret Wars, and then I think they're going to do a version of King Thanos to kind of culminate and kind of close the chapter, and then they're going to reboot the MCU. That's just my personal opinion. So I don't think there'll ever be a final MCU movie, but this version of the MCU will probably be rebooted after a King Thanos arc, which I think is going to be incredible. But that's just a guess. Patrick says, member for 9 months, I'm most interested to hear, if we ever do, what was cut from the series script to the film script of Armor Wars to tighten it up. Hope they could do that for more Disney Plus series. Let's get more Disney Plus movies. Yeah, that's interesting. I think this movie will be a theatrical release, which is another reason why I think Robert's coming back, because he was probably like, bro, I am not doing this for a Disney Plus thing, you know? So yeah, that's what I think is going on there. Yeah, it's hard to say, right? I would hope that this would be a longer movie, because they're definitely taking those ideas and sort of streamlining them. It's hard to say what would be scrapped from it, right? Probably you would just tighten up that intro, get to the inciting incident a lot faster, you know, and then really do the almost essentially the same second and third act that you would in the show in a condensed time period. That's what I would assume, but who knows for sure. Short Round with a $20 holla, very generous. Says, hey Josh, if you haven't already, you should watch the behind the scenes of Arcane on the League of Legends channel. It's called Bringing the Rift. It is a 5-part series, 25 to 35 minutes per episode. It's incredibly good. So I haven't watched it, but I have heard about some of the things that came out and like how they did the animation and stuff like that, putting it in the video game engine, then like hand painting the models after they put it in a different render. It's very cool. So maybe I'll check some of that out. And yeah, dude, I thought Arcane was awesome. And also that Riot MMO, high hopes for that. Star Wars Sith says, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No, I have no idea what that is. Stormy, remember for 27 months, says, I hope the new script still features Black Knight. Amen, dude. I hope it features Black Knight as well. But why not just throw him into the modern age and do Midnight Suns, dude? Like, just go for it. Do Midnight Suns. That's what I would do. Ross says, hey, fam, just dropped a new music video with Wu-Tang. That's sick, dude. Congratulations on your video. Expo City says, is it possible the script was fair, but Feige was just trying to please Mahershala? Feige had to read the script early on to get it approved, right? Yeah, you would assume that, right? You would assume that. I don't know. It's possible, again, that like there's just a difference in opinions on what the film should be, right? And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but at some level, I think Mahershala probably just feels like he should get a bigger movie, a better movie, something with more focus, a little bit more like his version of Spider-Man No Way Home. I think everybody wants that now as an actor. They want that. So maybe that's what it was. And Marvel is just like, well, we're just doing a Blade movie. You know what I mean? We're not really trying to do all that. And maybe now we're going to get a little bit more of an ambitious project. I'm not 100% sure. Trev says, the Thunderbolts don't necessarily need to have General Ross. It could be a post-mortem proposal. That's true. The Thunderbolt Initiative. Also, Betty's still out there. That's absolutely true. And you could have Betty as Red Hulk, too, which would be super cool. Like Red She-Hulk, obviously. And I'm down with that. But I just really feel that doing that without Red Hulk is just not, it's not hitting the same. Like, it's just not going to hit the same, you know? And I think we sort of see that bear it out in, like, the social media reactions. The talented Mr. Griffin says, Terry Serpico from Cobra Kai is my pick for General Ross. Take my money. Not a bad pick, dude. Not a bad pick. I could see him as many different villains, though. He's certainly a villainous trucker. Skylar Hillman with a 10 spot, very generous, says, I didn't buy into the MCU take by angry channels like Nerd Erotic, but She-Hulk makes me see their point a little. When Jen gaslit Bruce by saying she had to control her anger more, that annoyed me. I absolutely agree with you, Skylar. It's tough because a lot of those channels and a lot of those personalities, I actually agree with a good portion of what they say. It's just that, to me, I feel like a lot of them sort of lean into the controversy. They're inflammatory with their opinions on purpose because they're just after attention. And they're not really trying to, like, give a nuanced take. And honestly, fair play to them because it's obviously working. And some of these people are, like, crushing it with views. Which just kind of speaks a little bit more to, like, modern audiences, you know, what people are interested in, right? But, like, I'll often watch a video by one of these guys, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I see your point there. Yeah, I see your point there. But then it'll like get to this place where I'm like, Jesus Christ, like that's not at all true. And like, there's just a lot of like low hanging fruit, exaggerations, etc., etc. But I think at a base level, the idea with this, like the MCU complaint, if you're really honest, I think it's more that the male characters are being put down to elevate the female characters. And I don't think you need to do that. Now, when it comes to She-Hulk, is that a part of the problem? For sure, in that first episode left a stink that a lot of people just weren't able to get over. But I think She-Hulk just has so many problems. Like, She-Hulk is just, I think, fundamentally a really bad show. And it just also happens to be a show that was supposed to bolster this new awesome female character. And that's probably the most disappointing thing about She-Hulk to me, is that they had a chance with She-Hulk to make a bunch of people love that character, to not forge head on into that controversy, to not try to piss people off. And I feel like She-Hulk just did a lot of things wrong It did a lot of things wrong, and I struggle with how many people are supposed to embrace that character now. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a fair point. It's a fair point to make. Vito says with the 10 spot, says, I'm just here for Secret Wars and everything to do with it. Everything else means nothing. I haven't even seen Andor because I don't care. Hey, much love to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I feel like Andor's pretty boring. But yeah, the road to Secret Wars is going to be titties, dude. And as I've been saying, like this has been a very weird and surreal week, right? Because you think about it, right? We had fun on Monday, and then I basically like quit Star Wars, and like all these Star Wars fans got all butthurt and everything, right? It's a big dramatic thing. And then Tuesday, we have a stream where I essentially take you through all of the different Phase 5 projects, and I sort of just piecemeal out and explain why Phase 5 is going to be so much better than Phase 4, and why, as a Marvel fan, I'm still all in and super excited. And basically, the rest of the week, we get all these crazy news stories that do nothing but to confirm my belief that we're fixing problems, it's getting better, and shit's going to pop off in the next couple of years, right? So it's been really cool, but also like kind of surreal to like go through this week and talk about all these different stories and explain all of this. And look, I know people have different opinions on all these different things, but I think you'd be very silly to not at least admit that a lot of this stuff feels like a move in the right direction, you know? So, yeah, it's kind of wild. Locationary says, will we get Marvel films based in other universes, or are all the films still going to be based in the current universe, particularly X-Men? Well, I'm going to touch on this partially in the Deadpool video that I'm dropping later today, but I definitely think you're going to get a lot of X-Men in that movie, and it will take place in several different universes. But I think it will ultimately end by being in the 616, or perhaps just ending up on Battleworld, right? I would love it if we did a bunch of movies that did exist in different universes, but that might just be a little too wild for audiences. It seems like, I mean, Feige's really good at sort of introducing crazy things slowly to an audience so that they can really wrap their head around it. And between Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Multiverse of Madness, we now have a decent understanding of how variants work, how different universes work, etc., etc. But to just go do a full-on movie in a different universe feels like a stretch. But also, that's literally what they're doing with probably X-Men 97 and Spider-Man Freshman Year. Like, Spider-Man Freshman Year is literally an Elseworld of Tom Holland Spider-Man. So they're doing it. I just don't know that they're going to do it in films, and I don't know that they're going to do it in a lot of films. Maybe post-Secret Wars, or maybe in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, one of those movies could do that. I don't know. It's a cool thought, though. Thank you for the love. Jack the Whiskey with a 5 spot says, I wonder if Armor Wars will acknowledge the Terrence Howard recast like She-Hulk did. Would be funny AF. I doubt that they will, bro. I doubt that they will. Maybe, if anything, Deadpool makes that kind of a joke or something. But yeah, I don't know that that's on the table, but yeah. Locationary with $1 million donation, thank you for that, says, Josh, I want your D being Den. Are we going to get films based on other universes, or will it be a universe crossover films? Much love, bro. I just answered that because that's in your member chat. And also, what? Much love, though. Jaboy G. Love seeing Armor Wars become a movie. I'd love less origins and more events like Secret Invasion, Armor Wars, and Blade being Midnight Suns. That's what I'm saying, bro. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. I mean, they're not going to do an origin story for the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you know what it is. So let's just get going. Let's have some fun, man. I'm excited. Thanks for the love, man. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, Nick D with a 10 spot. So generous, man. Thanks for the love. Says, as far as Armor Wars, I don't know about RDJ, but this is the project to have John Bernthal paint a skull on some War Machine armor. John Bernthal in Armor Wars or bust! Dude, I would love it. I mean, come on, man. I would absolutely love it. Like, yeah. Yes, please. But yeah, dude, just in general, like I just am so much more excited for Armor Wars now, even without RDJ. I don't need RDJ to be excited about the movie. I just happen to think that that's where it's going, reading the tea leaves. But yeah, dude, I think that would be sick. But I think it also has to be much bigger than that, because like Frank getting the War Machine armor is cool, but that's not quite enough to, I think, satisfy us with that kind of a film. Like this movie has to be about Rhodey, about the legacy of Tony, about the responsibility that Rhodey has to Tony's family, to Tony's legacy, and to the world to disseminate and control this technology properly. On top of that, the Skrulls are trying to get it, right? So, like, dude, there's a lot going on here. Like, I think the character of Rhodey is going to be spread thin, being pulled in different directions, trying to do the right thing. And I think it's a real moment for him to shine. Rhodey's an awesome character, dude. Probably made of better moral fabric than Tony Stark. And I hope we see that bared out and explained. I think it could be really, really cool. Umberto M says, new subscriber, keep up the great work. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Much love. Jack the Whiskey says, introduce Norman Osborn in the Iron Patriot suit. Now, there's an idea. There's an idea. And a good idea, if you ask me. I like that. Polyhedral Paradise, what's up, brother? Says, been waiting for AI Tony since he died. About time. Thank you. Thank you. A reasonable take. Much love, man. Hope you're doing well. Mist says, hey, Josh, love catching the streams, man. Always a great time. Recent news with Deadpool, this RDJ stuff, and all the other future projects got me hyped. Hell yes. They have me hyped as well. I'm very excited, man. It's a good time to be a Marvel fan. A real good time. By the way, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. for members, we're watching X-Men cartoons. Okay, so come on by the tower, grab a bowl of Magic Spoon, and sit your ass down, and we're going to watch some fun X-Men shit tomorrow morning. That's going to be sick. Monday, we're giving away another $200 GameStop gift card to a lucky Nerdvenger member. All you got to do is be a member. You're automatically entered to win. All you got to do is be a member. If you're a member, that's all you got to do. We'll do that on Monday. It's going to be fun. Vape God says, I hope when Feige rewrites or retires, he writes a tell-all book in which he talks about everything behind the scenes from making the MCU. I think he will. We already have a big book, and I've got it. I don't know. Some of you guys probably have it as well. But it's like the first 10 years of Marvel Studios, and it's deep, dude. It's talking about all kinds of different shit with Feige, the struggles that he had, what he was able to do, et cetera, et cetera. It's crazy, right? So, yeah, I think we'll get a tell-all book. And I'll tell you, I'll take it actually one step further. Before this dude, before I kick the bucket, I will write a biography about Kevin Feige. I am that much of a simp. I'll be like 70 years old. And I'll be like, it's time to write my book about Kevin fucking Feige, man. And that's what I'll do with my time. So, take that to the bank. Mo from the Foe says, geez, bro, a scene with RDJ Iron Man and Jackman's Wolverine is something I have never thought about. But now I need it. Yeah, and I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get it, dude. I think you're going to get it. Kroll says, hey, Josh, I'm super excited for Deadpool 3. Gonna be so hype, and your Star Wars take sucks. Nerdvengers for life. Should we do it? Should we poke the bear a little bit? I mean, look, I'm trying to play nice over here. You know, I mean, I'm trying to play nice with the Star Wars fans. Should we take a little trip down shitting on Star Wars fans lane? Should we just do a little? Should we do a little? Should we? I don't know. You tell me. Should we poke the bear? Should we let it go? I wasn't going to do this. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to do this. Let me show you one of my favorite tweets I've tweeted recently. Oh, and they big mad about this, by the way. Let's just take a slight detour. You know, it's a Friday. It's been a really, really cool week. You know, we're all having fun. We're all friends here. So let's just take a little peek here at one of my favorite tweets I've ever made. watching all the Star Wars fans that screamed. I should have put like little baby back bitches, but I didn't. About not needing Easter eggs. Get hyped about all the Easter eggs in Andor 4. Like, yeah. Yo, let's check the analytics. 40,000 impressions? All right. Well, all right then. Well, all right then. And it's true, dude. It's true. And then last thing I'll say about this, because we're having a good show. You know, it's a nice Friday show. I'm not trying to go too far down the road here. We're not trying to we're not trying to cause chaos here. But the amount of copium that I saw Star Wars fans in reaction to this, wow. Literally, people looked at what I was saying, and they were immediately like, give me the cope. Give me the copium. Just because we don't need it doesn't mean we can't enjoy it. Oh, bro, what are you talking about? It's Star Wars. Of course we're going to be excited about Easter eggs. Okay, anyway. let's okay, yeah. It's all good. Hey, man. Hey, look. We all must make decisions in life. And we gotta walk our own paths and have our own journeys here. You know what I mean? Does that not work quite literally both ways? Harris, you're one of the good ones, man. You know, there are people like Harris. Real talk for just a second. Chat, pause the music for just a second. Let me do a real talk with you guys here too, okay? Okay, I'm going to break character for a second here. I'm going to tell you just one little real truth. There are some of you that I absolutely love. And it is only because of people like you that I'm going to try not to do this kind of stuff anymore. And I don't want to rile you all up. Because some of you are quite honestly incredible. And you like Star Wars and you've been rooting for Star Wars. And we used to be able to carry that flag into battle together. And now I'm out. For the time being. There are, though, genuinely, a whole bunch of Star Wars fans that infuriate me. And the hopium, the copium, the toxic positivity, the toxic negativity, it's ridiculous. But there are a few of you that are actually all right. And for those of you that are actually all right, I am so sorry. I'm going to try to do my best to not poke this bear. But we all know what it is. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, here we go. Mo from the Foe. $20 holla. Very generous. Holy shit. Says, I know you're off Star Wars, but honestly, can you explain to me how Vader would beat Windu? I mean, with the whole Vapid style, and the fact that Windu handled Sidious, seems like there's no way Vader would beat him. Just when I think I'm out. And they drag me back in. Okay, so here, I'll just give you my take on this. Okay? Vader is just so strong with Force potential. And because he is born of the Force, it would be like in an anime when you have one character that can absorb power. Like, here's an example. Android 20 in Dragon Ball, they have this device where they can absorb energy. Vegeta's solution to this is to give him so much energy that he can't anymore and it just explodes. And so imagine Vader being so fucking angry and powerful that the dark side of the Force that Mace is allowing to just run through him, you know what I mean? Like, essentially would just be too much. And yeah, I absolutely think that Vader would decimate Mace Windu. But Mace is also very strong. But also, what's a Star Wars? Blurred Herd Network says Star Girl show greater than She-Hulk show. This is known. Fair point. And I understand where you're coming from. Draco with a $10 holla. Thank you so much, man. Says, so I put all the Nerd Theory streams into one playlist and it came out to 99 videos. That means this next Nerd Theory would be the 100th stream? Oh my God. That's insane. You guys should do something special. We should do something special. Should we just make it like Josh's comeback to Star Wars? Like, should we just do 1 week, super baity, I'm done, and then the next week, I'm back, or some shit like that? Because I will say this, and I don't even want to fucking say this because you all just grab it and be like, eh. But the Rakatan Empire? Okay, Andor. Okay. But we're not talking about it. Everybody relax. Thank you, though, Draco. Okay, Hunting Dude says, always have been a quiet viewer until I saw the recent hate from other YouTubers. Keep up the great work, and thank you for the great content. I appreciate it, man. I gotta be honest with you, I know a lot of you guys keep coming in here and you're like, dude, there's a lot of channels hating on you and shit right now. I haven't seen it. I mean, I'm sure it's out there, right? I'm sure it's out there. Here's my question. How are the videos that are hating on me performing? Are they doing well? Are they getting views? That's what I'm wondering about. Are they getting views? Chat. Come on, man. Chat, let me know. Are they getting views? Like, are they properly baiting? The ones I see aren't doing well at all. Oh, that's a bummer. Huh. My hate videos are crushing. Right on, Carl. Right on, Carl. Any publicity is good publicity. I haven't seen any of them. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen them either. You're not that famous, Josh. It's canceling you, not theory. JK, LOL. Okay, fine. Exposity. I haven't seen one video talking about the tower. That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking for it, but I haven't really seen any. Josh wants to get to the point where his hate videos do great. Oh, I'd love it, dude. Are you kidding me? I would love it if my hate videos were performing better than their Andor videos. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Location area, another $1 million. Says, do you think we'll get new X-Men actors or actors from previous films? Why not both? Why not both? Why not both, dude? Come on now. That would actually be sick. But yeah, I actually legitimately do think you're going to get both, actually. And thanks for the love. Mitch says, hey, Josh, I know it's MCU talk right now, and I'm trying to be patient, but you got to see the awesome theory about Laris Strong and Culture Crave tweet. It's not in the books, so no spoiler. It's lit. Oh, I've been looking into this. The fact that he is a green seer, and he's also possibly like literally making people do crazy shit. Like with maybe like a glass candle. Yeah, that's really, really fun, dude. You know the other theory that I'm loving right now? And maybe I'll just kind of do some videos talking about these theories that I love. The other video the other theory that I've been watching videos on and I really like is this. So in Hot D, Viserys explains that Aegon the Conqueror didn't just conquer Westeros because he was a douche, but because he had a vision of the end of all living things. And that vision was of the Long Night. It was of the Night King. It was of the White Walkers. And so Aegon conquers Westeros in order to be able to unite it against the White Walkers. And this is crazy because like there's little moments in the book, right? Where like towards the end of Aegon's conquest, one of the Starks has a discussion. He brings like 40,000 troops down a little bit, and he meets the king and the dragon, and then they have a discussion, and then he bends the knee. The Stark dude bends the knee. And it is speculated currently that Aegon may have shared the truth of his vision to this Stark, And he didn't want to wipe out all of the Stark's army with his dragon because he knew that if the Long Night happened, the North and the Starks and Winterfell must be the first line of defense for the realm. And it's just like there's a lot of interesting subtext to how the Targaryens have maybe been trying to set up and establish how to defeat the Night King and all of that, right? So that, like, I love that theory. Like, there's a lot of really fun stuff happening right now with Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and all that lore. So I'm kind of into it. Any truth to Anthony Sales, Miles Morales? I have no idea. Where'd that rumor come from? Can you just tell me, like, where does it come from? Because I could probably see by the source, like, if it's legit or not. Kroll says theory was going balls deep on those episode 4 Easter eggs. Opening a can of worms. Have a good day. Nerd Ventures for life. Hey, I appreciate you, and we'll talk about it on Monday. Coral, member for 20 months, says, so let me get this straight. Marvel connective tissue is vital and always celebrated, and Star Wars is too scared for Easter eggs? Hypocrite. Love you. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I don't know what Star Wars is. You guys keep saying this word. I don't know what Star Wars is. Getting close to Black Panther 2, runtime got me way more excited and super hopeful that we get some Doom. Do you think we will see him first? Will he be masked? Oh, he'll be masked, and I think you'll see him in the post-credit scene, bro. And I'm excited, too. I'm actually going to do a full video on Doom probably next week. Nick Bayer, $5 holla, says, Josh, have you seen the 3-liter soda for Funko? Yet, if not, there is a Wampa 3L on the Funko shop right now. What? Am I missing something here? Am I missing something here? Is there something I'm missing here? Nick, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Maybe it's my sleep deprivation, okay? But, what? Soda? What? Who wants a 3-liter soda as a Funko? You know? What is happening? Locationary with another $1 million says, are there any bug franchises you'd want to see a cinematic universe of? You mean big franchise, or are you talking about bugs? Like A Bug's Life? Like, do I want to see the A Bug's Life cinematic universe? Absolutely. You know? The Butterfly, Heimlich, probably the Robert Downey Jr. of that universe. So yeah, of course, I'm all in. I'm all in on that. So maybe he meant big. Maybe he meant big. So I'll say this. I've always thought Dragon Ball could be as big as Marvel, but do it in animation form. You don't need to do it in live action. And I think what they're ramping up with Dragon Ball could match up with that, right? That would be sick. As far as other franchises, like big cinematic universe type franchises, I think the next one that I'm really excited for is Rebel Moon. I'm really excited for that and to see where they go with that. I mean, look, I love Transformers, but Transformers has been shit for a long time. If they could reboot that and actually make that decent, that could be fun. And you know what other one I'm thinking about is Gundam. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the guy that did Godzilla vs. Kong is working on a live-action Gundam movie right now. And Gundam is dope. Dude, the lore from Gundam is fantastic. It's very dark compared to a lot of animes about big giant robots. It doesn't really have much to do with aliens. It's like humans versus humans. Dude, Gundam is dope. And so Gundam could be an incredible cinematic universe if done correctly. So, yeah. I bet Star Wars fans are praying Rebel Moon fails just because of you. Talk about a hard pill to swallow. Give me a second. Let me just mourn for a second here. Maybe I'll have to flip back to being a Star Wars fan before we get to Rebel Moon. Because you might be onto something. You might be onto something, Kendall. Look, we're just on, you know what? We're just on a little arc here, okay? We're on a story arc here, okay? And maybe the story arc ends with me and the Star Wars fans hugging, making up, and getting really excited about Star Wars moving forward. Maybe it doesn't. Okay? I don't know. But we're in the middle of an arc here. Okay? Yeah. Leon says, as someone who builds Gundam kits, I need a movie. Dude, that's sick. Also, send me pictures of your favorite Gundams that you've built. Because, dude, I love looking at these Gundam models, man. I would get into building Gundam models if I wasn't already super stretched for time. And I can't even do fucking anything I really want to do. But, actually, that's not true. I played some Gundam last night. It was sick, so we're doing okay. Where's the MacGuffin, dude? Yeah, exactly. Still doing call-ins? Yes, we're going to do call-ins. Let's do some call-ins. Let's get it going on. Let me set up the stage. If you're a Nerdvenger member! Where are we at? Nerdvenger stage. Boom. I'm starting the stage right now. And it's called Call-ins! Oh, Kendall's on it. All right, give me 1 second here, Kendall. Vito says, I need Zack Snyder to direct everything I watch. Give me Dora, the Explorer. With Snyder. I like it. Mike Stanshill Porter says, earlier this week it looked like the MCU was in trouble, but now with all the good news, we know that isn't the case. MCU rules. They will fix Disney Plus too. I agree, bro. Now, how do I... Okay, cool. All right. Kendall, I got you. You're on the call. What's up, man?
Yeah. What's going on, bro? Is that a new haircut?
It is a new haircut. I got a new haircut yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, it looks nice, man.
Oh,
looks
thanks.
Nice. Pop the screen today, bro.
Thanks, man. I deal with this crazy Polish Welsh hair. It's ridiculous. Cowlicks all over the place. But we do our best.
They do what they do. Make it do what it do.
Yeah.
Look, I got a couple things to get off my chest. I'm not going to take long.
Yeah.
First off, just want to talk about She-Hulk. Bruh, I'm sorry. There's never been an MCU Disney Plus show that I've not been given 2 Fs about more than She-Hulk, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to watch it yesterday with my wife, and like she tuned out of the show like episode 3. But like, I tried to watch the episode, she was sitting there, and I just had to cut it off like 20 minutes in 15 minutes in or so, because it's like I felt bad for sitting there and making her watch that.
Right.
But my thing is, and I want your thoughts on this. Like, do you feel like Tatiana? I was looking at him like, yo, I think the issue here is just Tatiana Maslany. Like, I look at her, I'm not interested in watching her. Like, I'm not interested in her. Like, I don't see any sex appeal from She-Hulk, which I know it's supposed to have in She-Hulk. Like, there's nothing. They would have done better casting Alison Brie. They would have done better casting someone who is a bit more, I hate to sound like a douche, but it's a bit more easy on the eyes, if you will.
Sure.
Like, it's just, she doesn't have an appeal of somebody that I want to sit and watch on screen.
Yeah.
And I know that comes off as like, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
It's just the truth in these movies. Like, when you look at who they've cast so far, then you go to Tatiana Maslany. Then when you transfer to She-Hulk, She-Hulk just doesn't have that appeal. It's just like, bruh.
Yeah.
That just really takes me out of it. On top of it being a comedy. I know comedies are hard to nail down. But like that, I don't know, bro. I hate to sound like that, but I just felt like that was probably just the biggest issue that I have with it. Just when you look at the character, like, I don't think even past this, I will even be able to get into that character. At least maybe even caring about Jennifer Walters. Maybe they'll do more with She-Hulk, but with Jennifer Walters as a stand, I don't see how I'll get into her in the future.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's what I had to throw out there on that. And then this last thing, man, like, this Black Panther hype just gets me hype, bro. I'm just really hyped for Black Panther. I am a little concerned about, like, the controversy surrounding it, which I feel like the Empire article that's coming out is just the beginning of this, like, media wave that they're going to be doing to address, like, the controversy, right?
Right.
And I've seen people still sharing around these, like, articles that come from when Chadwick initially passed, from that TMZ article, when they're referring to his brother and what he said. And, I just feel like once it comes out, especially if they can get the family to come out and say, look, we support this film, what they're doing with it, then a lot of that would die down. So I just want your thoughts on that as well. As like, do you think like we're really going to be getting heavy into them addressing the controversy of T'Challa? and like really coming head on to say, look, the family, possibly try to get the family to go on GMA or something before the movie comes out. Just anything to get folks to be like, look, this movie is okay by the family, it's okay by everybody involved. Watch this movie and we'll get a child in the multiverse.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, no, I dropped a lot on you. But yeah, I appreciate you calling.
No, for sure, man. I'll get into this for sure. That's good shit as always, man. I hope you're doing well.
Doing well, can't complain, bro.
All right, brother. Good. All right, let me address this now. First thing, T'Challa controversy movie. It's always been a question: how will this affect the box office? And for better or worse, I don't actually think it's going to have much of an effect on the box office. If it does have an effect on the box office, it's actually probably going to increase the box office, if anything. Unfortunately, it does feel like a lot of people are interested in seeing this movie because they are interested in seeing how they're going to handle the Black Panther thing. But I want to be completely fair here, and I'll be curious. I'll keep an eye on the chat, Kendall, because I want to know what you think about this specifically. To me, I am actually a little bit impressed at the marketing for the film because I don't feel like Marvel is doing that thing where they're like, who will be the new Black Panther? And that seems to be being done out of respect. And there's a scenario here in which all the marketing and this big push for the film was really in your face about like who's going to be the next Black Panther. And it's kind of a feel bad thing where they're maybe using a little bit of the real life tragedy to have this happen. Yeah. So you're impressed by it too. Yeah, same. So I actually do feel that despite my personal feelings about how they handled this situation, I think they're actually being pretty tactful. I feel like they're being respectful. And I personally feel like the recent comments from Feige are to alleviate some of this and to talk about why it was much too soon. And look, when I first sat down and did the podcast with E-Man and we talked about this, he was very clear that the movement that he started, which I think is it's really like him and a lot of other people, but like he's sort of like the leader of it, right? It was not trying to boycott the movie. It was not trying to see this movie fail because in a lot of ways, all of the things that the first Black Panther movie do and that the idea of Wakanda being a big player in the MCU, that's all really good. It's all things that we want to celebrate, right? So for me personally, I feel like Marvel's doing a decent job. I feel like the movie seems really intriguing. And also, I actually think the movie is going to be more MCU and talking really more about the MCU than it is just talking about Chad. So like obviously a lot of the characters and the motivations for the characters will linger on T'Challa's passing. But I think that a lot of stuff within the movie is really going to be more about Marvel and Wakanda moving forward than it is really about Chad. I'm excited for the movie. I think the movie's going to do huge numbers. And I think it's actually going to be pretty damn awesome. And my hope is that they then recast T'Challa or do something different with T'Challa because, you know, out of all the different scenarios and all the different things they could be doing, I think they're doing a pretty good job. Now, let me talk about She-Hulk. She-Hulk is, again, I'll say it for me personally, remarkably bad. And it is unfortunate that the first introduction of Jennifer Walters to mainstream audiences is in a show that dropped out of Nielsen's top 10 that is being shit on by everybody. And that even, I think, really reasonable people, for the most part, are not connecting with. I know there are people that enjoy the show. Like, that's cool. But I don't think there's enough people that enjoy the show to give Marvel much confidence in the ability of She-Hulk to be this big thing that they wanted She-Hulk to do. Does that mean it's over for She-Hulk? No. Does that mean it's over for Disney Plus shows? No. But does it mean that Marvel needs to take a really hard look in the mirror and at the fucking writer's room when it comes to these shows? Absolutely. As far as Tatiana Maslany is concerned, it's a difficult thing here because I actually think she's an incredible actress, but I agree that the way she's portrayed in the show, even to the degree to which she's just in baggy ass clothes all the time, and she seems so almost asexual. Like she literally seems like she's like asexual and just thinks all men are gross. But yet also like, you know, falls for Josh and all these different things. It's the show is remarkably bad. I don't think it's good in anything that it's trying to do, and I think the Marvel fan base and the wider audience has completely turned on the show. It's not the end of the world. I don't blame Tatiana. I do think a different actress, or at least a different story around the actress, could have served that character better. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, She-Hulk is just a big old L, dude. Now, the Daredevil episode will probably be cool, and the finale will probably be fun, and it'll lead into, like, more Hulk stuff in the future. But yeah, I would really hope and that Marvel learns from this and moves forward, making better decisions, because I think this was a situation of the writer's room, maybe a little bit of Tatiana as well, caring way more about doing their version of an MCU show than doing what the right thing is for that character. Like, I know everybody's going to freak the fuck out, right, when I say this. But as Grace Randolph said, the most important thing for these female shows is that they are successful. If they're not successful, it's not moving the needle. It's not really doing shit for any females trying to work in Hollywood. It's not helping at all. It's just you're exercising out your own problems, your own personal vendettas against society, men, etc. That does nothing to actually help women, in my opinion, and that's what she said as well, right? So, yeah, She-Hulk, in my opinion, big old fat L, but it's not the end of the world. And holy cow, that was a crazy long first call in. Let's get Machine Gun Carter in here next.
What up?
What up, brother? How you doing?
Hear me, Josh?
I got you loud and clear. Do you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
All
what's
right.
on your mind? What's on your mind?
I got a couple things, brother, but the first thing about She-Hulk, to piggyback off She-Hulk, I just want to say, don't think about it too much, too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what
I
you're
just
saying.
find it fun to see characters popping up. I mean, they're getting wild with all these different, beings, like man, whatever the heck he is, man pig or whatever.
yeah. The man boar.
So I'm like,
yeah.
there's gonna be a whole bunch of characters just popping in and shit. So I'm cool with that. But yeah, no, I still watch it weekly, but I'm not like super like impressed by it or anything. But
so you're kind of more in the camp of like, it's fine. It's, you're not really like triggered by the show, but you're not having the best time. That kind of a situation. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And I think that's
like
fair.
Kenobi.
Yep. I get you.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was gonna ask you, have you ever played the Lego Marvel superheroes games?
No, I have not. I'm actually not too much of a Lego fan, and I've never really played too many of those games. Is it pretty dope?
Yeah, I mean, I got like kids and their video game age, so we played all this Lego Marvel superhero games, and
oh, that's cool, man.
yeah, dude, they're interesting stories, and it's just you get to look at all the different characters and what they're about and shit. But what I wanted to say about that is, in those games, Deadpool is like, you just be playing, and then all of a sudden Deadpool will like pop his head out in the corner, and you'll be all like, "Oh, there's Deadpool." You know what I'm saying? I think they should do that with the MCU. All of a sudden, they're just doing their thing, but you see in the background Deadpool is just like running away with bags of money or something. You know what I'm saying?
You mean in the movie or just in like other stuff?
Yeah, just in like all the other, like movies
I
or whatever that have
that.
nothing to do with him.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind like some Deadpool post credit type stuff. But I do think it gets a little bit dangerous. When you're doing that kind of thing, because one of the main complaints about the MCU right now is that it's not serious enough. So I think if you put a little bit too much Deadpool all over everything, I think there'd be, too much of a good thing is a bad thing, right? So maybe just kind of keep him relegated to his movie and maybe a little post credit scene stuff here. But I get what you're saying, because he's a fun character for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Deadpool, but he's like one of the most popular characters.
Yeah,
100%. Like, it's crazy, but I
for
just
sure,
wanted to bring that up, and and tell you not to think about it too much. So.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, have
Take
a good
care.
day, sir.
You too, brother. Totally fair, man. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel that way, where they're like, dude, Josh, just, have fun. Don't take it too seriously, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Expo City. I'm bringing you on the call, man. I'm bringing you on the call. What's up,
Hello.
man?
What's up, brother?
Got
How you
you loud
doing?
and clear. Yep, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. And looking forward to the weekend. Been a long week, but looking forward to unwinding.
Yeah, heard that.
So I want to ask you,
Yes.
do you think Doctor Strange, and this might be far-fetched a little bit, but do you think Doctor Strange will make an appearance in Deadpool 3? If Deadpool is what people speculate in some way, could be like into the multiverse kind of thing. Because if the lip reading was correct, I think Brian Reynolds did say something about like we're going to places. And I just naturally assumed like the craziness was like, oh, maybe he's going to do multiverse jumping, right? And the way I see it is because we don't know. I mean, we kind of do. I mean, the last time we saw Doctor Strange, he went with Clea, right? To help with the incursions, right? And if Deadpool is sort of, maybe incursions are in Deadpool, right? And they're trying to escape it or something. So do you think there's a chance that Doctor Strange could make an appearance, maybe as a post-credit in Deadpool 3? Because I'm also looking at the slate. I think the one you pulled up on stream the other day for all the upcoming projects. And I think there's only like 2 untitled left for Phase 6. And I guess Feige could just drop one randomly if he wanted to. But I'm just trying to pinpoint where these characters who I feel like we have some loose ends to tie before Kang Dynasty, like where they can appear, like Doctor Strange, like Wanda, which, by the way, I do like your theory about Wanda with Doom. Like, you told me that, or you said that in the video. I'm like, sold. But like Spidey, are we going to get another Spider-Man film before Kang Dynasty? See him as a street level hero. I don't know. And part of me thinks too, it might just be a little paranoid because all this Feige being spread too thin a little bit. Because like even with Fantastic Four, like that movie is almost 2 years away, and we still don't have a cast yet. In my opinion, I think they need to get moving a little bit on that because 2 years is not far. I mean, I'm sure they can meet the deadline, but I feel like they're going to be crunching it big time with that film. Even like, I don't know, like Kang Dynasty, like how well prepared are they for these movies, basically, is what I'm getting at.
100%, dude. I think these are good questions. Let me, I'm going to take you out of here and let me kind of give a thorough answer, okay? All right, appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Okay. And I'm just going to do one more. I'm just going to do Ross. And I'm sorry to Trinity and Veed, but we're just going to do one more. I'm going to do Ross after this. And then we're going to end the call-ins. But let me touch on this for a second here. So, first of all, Incursion, Doc Strange, Deadpool 3. I think yes. Again, I have a big video coming out about this, but that is, we're on the same page where, Deadpool, at the end of Deadpool 2, is messing around with a time device. Okay? We've already seen, and I'm just going to tease out the video I have coming out later. We've already seen a Doctor Strange on a planet after an incursion. So in the MCU, in the MCM, Multiverse, it would appear after an incursion, planet Earth is technically still there. It's just everything on it is like dead and destroyed. But who are a couple of characters that could presumably survive such a thing? It looks like Steven could. I would argue Deadpool and Wolverine, with incredible healing factors, would also survive. Hell yeah, dude. I think Doctor Strange is going to be in Deadpool 3. Now, the other question about all this other stuff. So my take on this for now, and sure, it's a sunshine and rainbows, rose-colored glasses take, but this is where I'm at. My take is that the reason we've had a lack of quality in Phase 4 is because Feige is just dead-ass so focused on Phase 5, 6, and Secret Wars that a lot of his time and energy has been on that, right? And if you look at all the projects that actually have to deal with Secret Wars, Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Multiverse of Madness, even though some of you buttholes don't like it, I think you see a lot of focus and attention and energy given to those projects. And so my thing is, when it comes to Fantastic Four, they are casting right now. They don't have a cast yet, you're right, but they probably have a lot of it already. And they might even have the full thing. They're just not ready to announce. They're working on that. But yes, it is all about Secret Wars. And I would say probably all of... here's the thing, man. and this is just my opinion, and I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you agree or disagree? Here's the thing. I think if you have an incredible lead up to Secret Wars, but Secret Wars doesn't fulfill or live up to the hype, it doesn't matter. And conversely, I think if you have a lackluster lead up to Secret Wars, but Secret Wars is what we all hope it to be, the lackluster lead up doesn't matter. And we're like, damn. Thoughts? What do you think? Because that's where I'm at with it. Is like, to me, it almost doesn't matter unless Secret Wars is what we need it to be. That's what I think. So, your mileage may vary. You know what I mean? All right, Ross, let's bring you on. Ross, what's up?
What up, fam? Can you hear me?
I got you, man. How are you?
All is well, feeling good, and my mileage is up on that. King
Nice.
Dynasty, Secret Wars, man. The road is so bright. It doesn't even matter how we get there. We will get there. Think about the way we look at Dark World after Endgame. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, man. So overall, this has been a dope week. Hype week for us nerds. Hugh back is so big, man. That is amazing. I love the videos that him and Ryan did. Can't wait for Deadpool 3. Armor Wars, huge W. Don Cheadle deserves it. I really am happy for him as an actor and us as fans to really, dig deeper beyond a Disney Plus show for Armor Wars. My question is this news about the Blade director, right? Because I was kind of the one, slight L, little L, not shout out the big L, but just a little L. But I'm hearing that Sam Raimi is apparently in talks. Is this true or a false rumor? Can you verify that one?
So I think that's a false rumor. We looked into that a little bit. Elisa brought that up as well. And I think it's the Discussing Film Twitter that has two eyes. So if you look at it, there's a Discussing Film Twitter account, and then there's a troll version of that account that has two eyes in it, and it constantly makes shit up to try to trigger people. And so I think that rumor's false, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't hate that. I like Sam Raimi, and I think he would have the sensibilities to do very well with Blade. And yeah, we'll just see. I mean, I think we're gonna come out being even more excited from Blade. That's sort of the Feige formula, right? Like when shit falls apart, he kind of rolls his sleeves up and he's like, okay, let's like legit fix this and get the hype train back up, right? So that's what I expect. I'm actually more excited for Blade now. You know what I mean? Like legitimately, because I always thought like Mahershala will carry that movie. The idea of a story in like a period piece is like interesting, but like I don't need it. You know what I mean? So if they go hard and they do like Midnight Suns and take it to like the next like nerdy level, I think that would really excite me a little bit more, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. You know what I mean?
True. I mean, and Raimi proved he could do it in Multiverse of Madness. I saw Kendall tweeted out Jordan Peele. That would be amazing. I don't think it's in the mix, as you mentioned the other day on the stream. He's in his own thing. That would be my fanboy dream. But I'm open for it. I'm really happy. There's a lot of good nerdy stuff. And man, I just want to say overall, thank you, and thank you to all the Den members, man, for always supporting my music when I put out new stuff. I actually resurrected my hip hop career as I became a Nerdvenger. So become a Nerdvenger, man. You'll have all kinds of artistic push. So check out my new joint, Rebel on the Roof.
Yeah, tell them where to find that. That's on your YouTube channel. Like, where do they go to find the music video?
Yes, indeed. You can check it out on Ross Ceylon, my YouTube page. Go ahead, subscribe, and it's called Rebel on the Roof, featuring Prodigal Son from Sons of Man, original Wu-Tang. So I sent it to your DM too, brother. So check that out when you can. Much love, everyone. Have a great weekend. Peace.
All right, thanks, brother. Yeah, and guys, they'll help you out with a link on that as well. You can check that out on the Discord and. Yeah, I mean, the power of the Nerdvengers, it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, your mileage may vary, but I've heard crazy things, crazy things and powers and abilities that come when you become a Nerdvenger. Yo, y'all want to see just a little bit before we get out of here? Y'all want to see just a little bit of the comic book? Some of the colored pages? It's Friday. I'm feeling good. I'm just trying to Oh shit! And I have a Prime stream at 1. Where I'll be there. I will be there for the Prime stream. Don't y'all worry. Don't you worry. Okay, so I think I showed you guys this page yesterday. It's not the full high-res version of it, but loving it, loving it. And then some of you guys have seen this page, but probably not in color yet. Whew! Oh, man. Like, come on, man. You know? And yeah, it's going to be a little violent. You know, it's going to be a little brutal. But it's going to be dope, bro. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, man. And the deal is I wrote 3 new pages, actually, that everybody's going to be working on next week. And as they are working on that, I'm going to start getting ready for the Kickstarter. So I don't know when, but definitely soon we're going to do the Kickstarter for this comic. It's going to be fun. Also, I got my copy of the Rippaverse, and I'm excited to check that out. Over the weekend, I'm going to dive in and check out the Rippaverse. See if it's all that. Let's see here. So, oh wait, no, I already saw that one. Okay, unsubscribe, says Trinity. Hey, man, I'm sorry, bro. I am sorry. I got nothing but love for you, Trin. And Lord Vito says, gamble 6,900. Oh, shit. My man. Representative Binks says, Hot D was fire, but new Rhaenyra lacks the punch of Millie. That's fair. That's fair, but give it time. Give it time. Still haven't got mine? Oh, well, I think they fulfill in the order you received it. So I'm hoping you get yours soon or whatever. I'd love to know your take on it too, Trin. I mean, Trinity's like in it. He's reading comics every week for sure. All right, everybody, look. Much love. I appreciate you all. It's been a very fun week. It's been a very busy week. Check out the Deadpool 3 video later today. It's not over 3 hours long, which is good. Because if you're a wreck for over 3 hours, you've got to go to the doctor. That's right, I said it. The shit is hot. Check the video out. Much love. Tomorrow morning, X-Men cartoons. Yeah, that's right. On our grown man shit. Cereal. And X-Men cartoons in the morning. I'll see you guys there for that. And of course, I'll see you next week. Much love. Appreciate you guys. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Aw, man. What a week. What a week. What a time to be alive. That's a lot. It was a lot this week. Like, it's just kind of, it's kind of a lot. Mostly good, mostly good, but a lot, And I think as we, head into next year, we head towards Wakanda Forever, I think there's going to just be so much crazy stuff dropping. A lot to cover, a lot to get hyped up for, excited for. Watch parties will be back once Liam starts doing chores and sleeping through the night and pulling his weight around here. I appreciate you all for dealing with my grumpy, get off my lawn Star Wars takes. No one's ever really gone. Open up that third eye. Wash out your brown eye. Wash out behind your ears. Make sure you're drinking enough water, eating your fruits and vegetables. Make sure